Durag Wisdom. Daily News, New York Daily News. One of the banes of my existence. New York Daily News. As you can see on the paper today, the U.S. has hit Syria, and they have another picture of a dying child there that was on the first day there. The Daily News likes to keep everything in people's faces. They want you to think that they're outraged over this. And yet, they must be rejoicing over the fact that Neil Gorsuch was rammed through by the totalitarian hypocrites, the traitors of all time, the creeps, the scum, the GOP with Bitch McDumbbell. We'll talk about that in a minute. But this, I want you to know about U.S. hitting Syria. First thing. This had to be done. And it was a measured response with Tomahawk missiles. What they did was they destroyed that air base where the attack on the northern town of Syria there, that northern town, occurred. I know that this had to be done, and you know, no boots on the ground, no, you know, just zip in, blow the place up, that airfield up. Good. So again, we live on a very, very sophisticated playground. I mean, we've turned our glorious planet into a playground of blood, guts, horror. Remember growing up when you were a kid and you had to deal with the playground? I hated the playground. That's where the bullies stalked you. And on this bloody playground, we animals, we naked apes, can't afford to be made to look weak. See, Cuomo, he's a right-wing Democrat. And he supports charter schools, privatizing education. And here he is, racist piece of crap. They always say his face looks like a turtle. This is Bitch McDumbbell. His face looks like a turtle, they say. I love turtles and tortoises. I don't want to insult an animal in order to insult a human being. Like you call somebody a pig or you call somebody a cockroach. Why insult innocent animals? This is a naked ape. See, that I'm insulting. We are naked apes. So he is a naked ape. And they're rejoicing that they did the nuclear option. Daily News must be happy. The paper that wants to make us feel outraged every day when they show pictures like that, because, and you know, this stems from part of the birther bastard, and yet they support stuff like this. So I just want you folks to know, you young people, that you're going to have for the next 30 years a scumbag Supreme Court piece of shit. This piece of shit here, this corporations are people too, this misogynist, homophobic, slimeball, right-wing, fundamentalist, constitutionalist, originalist. That's going to be in your life for the next 30, 40 years. To undermine our going forward. He's going to make sure we stay backwards with the naked apes. Because of this ape, naked ape here. Bitch McDumbbell, who wanted to make President Obama a one-term president, and who undermined it or attempted to undermine him, and he did a good job at it every step of the way, including stopping the president from having to, you know, his own Supreme Court, his pick for the Supreme Court, which he had a right to do. Obama had a right to pick that Supreme Court justice. And this slimeball, this totalitarian piece of shit, and his GOP, Putin-loving, totalitarian, religious extremist slimeballs took it away from him illegally. And now they've rammed in their own. All right, Jared Kushner. What, pray tell, kind of qualifications does this creep have? There he is, in his cute little bulletproof vest. What kind of qualifications does he have to run around and doing all the things he's supposed to do? Nothing! Where's Rex Tillerson? Where the fuck is Rex Tillerson? Yeah, he's digging up his ass and ours for oil and kissing Putin's ass. And finally, Krauthammer. Wow! Every Friday in this paper, I get to have Charles Krauthammer, Senate Dems just desserts. Wow. He loves Gorsuch. He's a right-wing conservative. See, I put a little Hitler face on him. The guy's Jewish like me, and I put a Hitler face on him because he's a right-wing conservative shithead hypocrite. And the one thing, you know, that he forgets to say in this article, or the few things, is the reason the Democrats did what they did with the filibuster when they were in charge was because the GOP under Bitch McDumbbell was trying to block every progressive thing that they possibly could. Everything. So out of frustration, Harry Reid made changes. Because this minority, this stinking little minority at the time, was trying to block everything. So he doesn't say anything about that. And also he says, this nuclear option, right? He's praising the nuclear option. The fact of the matter is, this is a way that they could just change the rules any way they want. Imagine if in the middle of a game, I'm a teacher, right, and I'm doing like I have to referee a game, and I say, I'm gonna do the nuclear option to decide between two kids, and one obviously did win, the other did not, but I'm gonna do the nuclear option and make the other one win. He doesn't say, or very little says, about the fact that they stole the seat. And the bottom line here is, he supports what they call the traditionalists, the originalist constitutionalists, the fundamentalist constitutionalists, the ones that do not want to see any change in the Constitution. Originalists. It's not a living document. He made a sarcastic remark about that. He says, we liberals are trying to take over, basically. That's what he's coming up with. But thanks to the hero, his hero, Bitch McDumbbell, they did their nuclear option, sticking us with a creep, a right-wing, corporations are people to creep, okay? Along with being homophobic and, of course, misogynist. What a creep. So, he says a lot of things here to justify what Bitch McDumbbell does, but as usual, these right-wingers rely, the Charles Krauthammers on the world rely on the fact that people have short memories. He relies on the fact that we haven't read 1984 like I have, and that we don't put up with revising the past. People who've read that novel do not put up with revising the past. He does. It saddens me that my generation has cursed you younger people with more and more of the same. And here's a Bramhill cartoon. I'm not so fond of him either. He gets on my nerves. But as you know, Don Rickles died. And of course, I don't believe in an afterlife. But they have him going up to Peter here What's that? And they have Don Rickles saying, "What's that over your head? A hockey puck?" Because of the halo. I mean, I myself personally do not believe in an afterlife. This is the only life we have. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want all of you to be made miserable by these freaking politicians and these oligarchs and the Trump-Putin bastards. But that aside, we need to laugh. We have to laugh at these bastards sometimes. We have to be serious, but we also have to laugh. And this guy, Don Rickles, I grew up with him, meaning all my life, and he's been in my life. The greatest generation is slowly but surely dying off. And soon, only my stinking generation is going to be at the head of the table. And the only thing that we've been serving at that table so far is shit.